This week on TGC News, SilencerCo raises the bar, a 5-pound billet AR-15, and what? No show next week. The SCAR adaptable stock from Kinetic Development Group replaces that weak sauce UGG boot and gives you a comfortable, adjustable platform to lay your face. This side-folding stock offers 7 length adjustments, an adjustable cheek riser, a QD cup, a CR123 battery compartment, and an aluminum adapter plate for added support and durability. All of that and drop-in installation. To get 10% off your entire order at kineticdg.com, use the code TGC10. Welcome back. My name is Jon Patton, and SilencerCo has done it again. Last year, they had a big event and announced the can that no one was expecting, the Salvo 12. Well, this year, they threw a Miami Vice theme party and blindsided the industry again with 4 new products. We'll save the coolest for last. First up, the Radius. It's a rangefinder that mounts to a Picatinny rail. Yeah, I care that much too. I'm sure it's cool in the world of rangefinders, but the other releases kind of leave it in the dust. Next, a yet-to-be-finished can called the Hybrid. This thing is being slated as one of the most adaptable cans around. It's user-configurable to suppress calibers from .458 SOCOM to .22s on both handguns and rifles. The teaser specs on this can are spectacular. To accomplish this, the bore diameter remains large enough to handle big bore, but the end cap and muzzle adapter are interchangeable to fit different weapon systems. I need this in my life. After that, we have a new modular, full-auto rated rimfire can called the Osprey Micro. Using their signature offset from the Osprey and Salvo and the adjustable length concept from the Salvo, they've come up with something pretty interesting here. You can use it in both the standard 4.6-inch length or using a slightly shorter core rod, configure it to a 3.1-inch can. Holy crap, that's tiny. The other thing that's interesting about the concept of baffles being the entirety of the can is that they're super easy to clean and maintain. And then there's the Maxim 9. As with the Hybrid, this thing isn't 100% yet, but if the final version is anything like the prototype and the ATF gives the go-ahead, we've got something really neat coming to the market. The Maxim 9 is an integrally suppressed 9mm handgun that looks like it came straight out of Borderlands or Call of Duty. The front end looks like an Osprey 9 actually started assimilating with the gun and locked the barrel in place. And all of this is speculation, of course, but it appears as though they've done away with the traditional slide in order to completely seal the front end of the gun. In order to get maximum suppression, all the gases have to be trapped within that can. Appearing closer to the action of a Browning buckmark, the rear of the slide is actually attached to the front via 2 bars that presumably are where the recoil springs reside. The barrel also appears to be fixed in place as opposed to the standard Browning-style tilting barrel that we're used to with most semi-autos these days. It really is interesting from the ground up. Right now, the gun is actually using a Smith & Wesson M&P frame, but that's set to change before final production begins. This is another one of those I can't freaking wait products. Hey, SilencerCo, I'll be seeing you guys at SHOT to look at all this stuff a lot more closely. And in the battle for ultimate lightweight AR news, 2A Armament just announced their new BLR-16 rifle. You may ask, why should I care? Well, using their already notable Balios light receivers and rail, as well as a titanium version of their T3 compensator among a bunch of other good quality parts, they've put together a rifle that tips the scales at a mere 5 pounds. On 2A's website, the product page for the BLR says, "This isn't a scale queen. This is a rifle built for use." And I'm betting that's true because I've used both the Balios light receiver set and the T3 comp, which I actually reviewed a while back, and the fit, finish, and functionality is top-notch. The biggest downside of that top quality is pricing. The MSRP on this thing is freaking $2,177. That's not cheap, but let's think about this for a second. If you wanted to build your own version of this, in theory, you could. The parts would run you about $1,500, plus the cost of your time to gather all those things and then assemble them. Suddenly, investing $1,700 to $1,800 isn't so far-fetched. Or you could pick one of these up for right around $2,000 at a dealer and pay a small convenience tax to get instant gratification. Either way, I want to get my hands on one of these and see how they run. That's really the biggest determining factor for me. What do you guys think? Would you pay $2,000 for this rifle? And on hashtag not a review, we're taking a look at the ASO or Advanced Special Operations bag from RE Factor Tactical. I'll be honest, it's difficult to cover all the possible uses for this thing because it truly is an all-in-one type product. Real quick, let's cover the features. A quick access fight pocket, an RFID blocking pocket, a wide opening main compartment, 7 mesh pockets on the inside, tons of MOLLE and Velcro for attaching gear, removable backpack straps, concealable duffel straps, 1000D Kadura exterior, and a waterproof bottom. Whew! Now, what does all that mean to you? Well, like I said, it's pretty much an all-in-one bag. There are so many different ways that you could set this up. One day it could be a range bag, and the next a gym bag, and maybe have some crossover. I'm not sure if your gym would understand or appreciate you working out in full-on tack loadout, but nonetheless, it's possible to drag all of your gear around with this thing. I'll actually be putting it to the test on my upcoming road trip down the East Coast, and I'll get into that later, and seeing how it holds up to being one of my gear bags when I'm on the move. Now, because RE Factor is a sponsor of the show, you can actually use our discount code to purchase one of these. So to get 10% off of everything at refactortactical.com, use the code TGC10. Now, I said this at the top of the show, but I want to explain what's going on. For the next 2 weeks straight, I'll be on the road, and that means that I will not be able to bring you guys an episode of TGC News next week. I know, I'm sad about it too. But the cool thing is that I'm going to be bringing you guys really cool content from my tour down the East Coast. First up, I'm heading to an event at Virginia International Raceway for Lancer Systems. Yep, there's actually a range on the same property as the racetrack. And then I'm heading to Georgia for the 3rd annual YouTube shoot hosted by IraqVet8888 and crew. That's going to be freaking amazing, and all your favorite gun channels will be there. And then, after that, I'm heading on to Big 3 down in Florida for some more cool gun stuff. I'm sure I'll also find some fun stuff along the way, like doing live Periscope broadcasts from the car and meeting up with friends along the way, so definitely stay tuned to the Gun Collective on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope the entire time. This week's friendly fire question is from Chris Eber on the TGC Facebook page, and he asks, why do you think we don't see more AR handguards with a cutout for the front sight post? The answer to this is pretty simple. It's a percentage game. Of the people with A2 style front sights that would require such a rail, how many of them are potentially going to buy such a product? Most guys are rocking flat top guns with flip up sights these days, and the percentage of people with A2s that want that style of rail is fairly small, so not a lot of manufacturers are doing it. On top of that, the need to cut more material from the rail and adding steps to the manufacturing process makes them more expensive to make, so there's another reason people stay away from it. I hope that answers your question, brother. My friendly fire question to you guys this week: what is your favorite red dot optic? I know everyone and their mom uses red dots these days, so post your favorite in the comments. If you want your question answered right here on the show, you can post that over on facebook.com/theguncollective or post it on Instagram and Twitter using hashtag friendlyfire. Check out Savoir Leather for some of the most badass leather holsters around. You can pick from hundreds of different designs, and the choices for gun and carry style combos are almost endless. To get free shipping on your next order, use the code TGC1 at savoirleather.com. That is it for this week's show. Guys, you know what to do if you enjoyed the episode, and if you didn't, let me know down in the comments below so we can talk about it. Do not forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss a single episode, and as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon. Hey, did you watch last week's show? Or maybe the one before that? And did you subscribe yet? You need to do that. Click right here to subscribe. Do it now.